Hello and happy Monday. Welcome to Love at Lunch. Today we're talking about the last component from Martin Seligman's work on how we can build a life which he calls flourishing, and he also speaks about how we can create more happiness, and I call that joy. Joy is really birthed in the truth of who we are and what really matters, and there's lots of research that supports that. So we are going to talk about how important it is to live a life of intention. And oftentimes we think of living a life of intention and around a lot of goal setting and things like that. For some people, particularly this year, they feel kind of tired and they're just every day just trying to get through. So whether or not you like the words goal or not, I love to use the word living a life of intention. And this lines up with the last part of the acronym PERMA, and it's called accomplishments. We are meant to be people that move forward, that integrate what we're learning and create life of meaning and purpose. And we've talked about that all the way along. So accomplishment is the last part of PERMA, the A. And whether or not you set out huge goals or not doesn't matter. If that's your thing, absolutely do it. One of the things that we want to understand is where we want to be intentional. And we can even use the other four components of PERMA in order to think about how we want to set out by being more intentional. The first part of PERMA was creating positive emotions. So thinking of what emotions do you want to feel that create joy for you? And so you can even think, what do I want to feel more of? And be intentional about feeling more of that. The people already here today are people that are very intentional and creating ways in their life to be intentional and to create more joy. So first of all, think of, when I think about what I want to accomplish, what do I want to feel? And what are some small steps I can do to feel that way every day? That's one of the first things that we can do. When we accomplish something, even if it's very small, I want to feel more gratitude. So I'm going to spend just a couple minutes thinking, what am I grateful for right now? Yeah. And as soon as we accomplish it, big or small, we get a release of dopamine. And dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is highly correlated with motivation. And so when we accomplish something, no matter how big it is, we get a hit of dopamine, which makes us motivated for the next piece. So we want dopamine. And we want to find ways to hack into that neurotransmitter in easy ways. And we can think about the next part, which was engagement. So how do we find a place where we feel flow? We're not even really paying attention to time. It could be something that we want to learn more about, or something that we've already found some mastery in. And so it's really easy for us to get into that. And so maybe there's an area in your life and you think, I want to feel more of that flow or more engagement. Maybe it's connection to people, which brings us to the next piece, which is healthy relationships. How do we want to be more intentional about having healthy relationships, about being connected with people? So even thinking about that, maybe you have a partnership and you think we've kind of drifted apart. So what are some small ways that we can do? Small ways that we can connect back with our partners, connect with other people. Since I did that Love at Lunch, I've been sending people, 2 people a day texts. I'm hoping I won't run out of people to send texts and just see how they are, reach out, create more connection. So those are some important pieces. Then the last one we did was meaning. And I read a part of a book called Finding Engagement by Diane Millis. And it talked about somebody who called themselves a baker and a lover. And he was a Sara Lee baker and had a master's degree, went to some incredible culinary school. None of that was mentioned in what brought him meaning. He loved to work with the people that he worked with, and he wanted to make those people feel loved. And that's how he found meaning. So again, when we think about what we want to accomplish, think about how can we create more meaning? And that might be connecting with somebody. That might be smiling so wholeheartedly with people that even through your mask, they can see that your face is squishing up and you are spreading joy and love to them. So thinking again about how, even in the mundane things, how do we find meaning. And those can be some ways that we can look at the lens of accomplishment. You can set a huge goal if you want for this year or for the next month. That's all great too. But the most meaning will be found in day-to-day intention setting and accomplishing those small intentions. And then you're going to feel that greater sense of purpose, happiness, and ultimately joy. So thank you for joining me today on Love at Lunch. I would love to hear, I'd love to see the comments already in the chat where you feel engaged, what you want to feel, positivity, flow. So really identifying those different pieces, thinking about what it is that I want to accomplish. And if you're feeling really kind of down, think of one small thing that would take 2 minutes to achieve. I have to tell my clients if they're trying to create a new habit, let's say it's about moving more. Just put on your shoes. Just put on your shoes and set an intention to walk down your driveway. Chances are you are going to get further, but even if you do that, your brain doesn't care how big the goal is that you set out to accomplish. It will give you that dopamine hit, and that will send you that message and prime your brain to achieve something else. And remember, in achievement, it's not just about the doing, it is about the being as well. So it's taking time to nurture ourselves, taking time to think about what would be a gift to ourselves. That all goes within that too. It's a well-rounded piece. So thank you for joining me for Love at Lunch. If I can be of any support, reach out, and I'd love to hear what you would love to achieve. And by that would be incredibly joyful as well. So happy Monday. Have a wonderful week. And thank you for joining Love at Lunch.